Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on European Confessions. The following story that you're going to be listening to, it comes from a translation of a message that I received, and the translation of that message, it reads like this. Hello, Brother Nash, how are you? Can you please post my story as hidden identity? I have contacted you through Facebook. Do not share my profile with anyone. I want to confess that we swapped babies at the clinic, and I have been living with this secret for 11 years. I am currently now staying in Germany with my husband. My late husband, he passed away, whom I ran away from after he had found out that this was what had happened. My name, you'll call me Grace, and I am a woman. I'll change my age so that no one will know me. You will say that I am a 34-year-old Kenyan woman, and I do come from an area in Nakuru, and I carry a secret that has been crushing my heart for the past 11 years. People think that the worst thing a mother can do is to abandon her child, but I did something that was even worse. I swapped babies at the clinic, and the child whom I say is my firstborn that I raised today, the boy loves me as his own mother. He is not mine. And somewhere out there, a woman I don't even know is raising my real son. So I'll say that it happened in the year 2013, so as to change the dates. By then, I'll say I was only 23 and I was pregnant with my first child. Life was not easy at all. The father of my baby, he already had other two wives, and I knew that it was going to be difficult because when I was introduced to the youngest wife, in a polygamous marriage, the youngest one always enjoy more financial benefits because she is still new in the family. So you can do this by giving the woman a lot of money. So when I met her, I knew that I was in trouble. This man, I had met him when I had visited Nairobi, and this man, he was like someone who had money, but he was not taking care of his family because he wanted a big family, and he had a lot of girlfriends that he was having. So when I finally went into labor, I went to a small government clinic, and my baby, I think, did not develop properly because of the shock. I never expected that I was going to suffer like this from the day that I met who was my boyfriend, who became my husband. The suffering was too much. I could go for 2 days without eating anything, and this happened in the early years of my pregnancy. So you can just imagine how difficult it was on the development of the baby. And when I went into labor, like the place, it was chaotic. There were women that were not being attended. Women were crying in pain. Babies were screaming, and only one nurse was running the maternity room. So there was one healer from our village who had said to me, your child, I can see that your child is not active, and this is not a nice thing. So I knew that there was something that was wrong, because my child will go for 5 days without moving, and you will just hear these faint movements. And I did not even have money to go to a specialist doctor so that they can look and see if my baby was okay. Next to me was another young woman, maybe 19 or 20. She looked terrified, and she was so scared, and she was not ready for the labor pain. She was also giving birth. Our beds were so close that sometimes even our elbows would touch. Both of us were in pain. Both of us were alone. She gave birth first to a small, beautiful baby who had a birthmark. I'll just say that the birthmark was near his left eye. I gave birth maybe 20 minutes later. My baby came out. He was big, but he had a severe disability. As for that woman who was next door, she just gave birth, and then she fell fast asleep like she was tired. She had been in labor even before I had arrived there. She was reaching a point of exhaustion, and when she gave birth, she just died, like she just passed out. Her body needed some rest. After our babies were born, the nurses rushed out because another woman was screaming in the corridor. She left our babies on the table between us, no name tags, like it was chaos, no labels, nothing, just the two newborn babies wrapped in the same white clinic sheets. The young girl next to me, she was fast asleep. And then that was when I looked at my baby and I swapped the baby. When the nurse left again to get injections, that was when she took the baby that was not hers and she gave me the baby that belonged to that girl. And I did not even get scared or anything, but my hands were shaky when I was doing this, because I said, if I am going to get arrested, then what is going to happen to me? And then that was when I left the hospital. After I had left the hospital, I took a baby home, and he grew fast, just like any baby. He was healthy, beautiful. But every time when I would look at him, I would feel something bad, like something stabbing me in my heart, because I knew what I had done. I had given another woman a child that was mine, a crippled child, because I could not take care of a crippled child. When my son was 6 old, the day everything almost came out, he fell sick and needed a blood test. The doctor said his blood group was O negative. My heart dropped because I was with the father. I am AB positive. And the doctor even looked at me and said, are you the biological mother? And I said, yes, I am the biological mother. And the father was tested as well. I forgot the blood type for the father now. And he was just questioning me. And from that day, my husband started to think a lot about what had happened on that day until he found out. And then I ran away from him. A lot of witchcraft happened as well. And then that was when I came to Germany. I got married with the help of my auntie who had been staying in London. So it was like an arranged marriage, sort of like. And then I left with my baby. We came here and I have raised my son as a German, not as a Kenyan, because I do not want my son to reconnect with his roots, because I'm always scared. You know, as a black person, you are always thinking that maybe his ancestors, they are going to come and they're going to claim him. So I have always make sure that he is far from anything that has to do with us being Africans. That is why I have tried to raise him up as a German, and I so wish for him to get married to a normal German woman who is white, not an African, because I do not want him to reconnect with his roots. So this is what has brought me to your show. If you can, please post my story, and I just want to hear what other people will say about me. And to my real son, wherever he is, forgive me. I hope that life was kind to you. I hope someone loved you the way that I should have. I was afraid that I would not be able to love you with your disability. I hope that you grew strong. I hope that one day you will find the truth and maybe find me too. And to my son, whom I am with right now, I am sorry. I am truly sorry. I wish I could undo and everything that I did. I wish that I had been a strong mother to accept my real son. I wish that I was brave to get out of the clinic with a child that I had a disability. I wish that I had chosen to love my real son instead of robbing you from being able to receive real love from your biological mother. But things happen in ways that we can't explain. I did, and I made that decision at that time because I thought that this was the most important decision of my life. I was afraid, and forgive me for that. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our dear sister, who is saying that she is from Kenya, but right now she is in Germany. Let us try to speak with her in the comment section. Strange things indeed, they do happen in this world. Yo, can you imagine? She stole someone's child. strange things indeed they do happen in this world. Let us try to speak with them in the comment section. Then there is another message that was sent to us by our dear sister. The message, it reads like this: hello brother Nanshi, how are you? Can you please post my story as hidden identity? There is an accident that happened. It was even online. Everyone was hearing about it. It happened, I'll say, in the year 2016. I was the one who caused that accident to happen because I was supposed to receive the blood of strangers, people that are not related to me, so that I can be able to work like the way that I have been working ever since that day. And I have been using the spirit of those people that perished in that accident. To those that would want to judge me, listen to my story. I won't tell you my name. I am a traditional healer. I grew up in Murambinda and I became a traditional healer, and I became a witch soon after that. We went to this other place where there was a bira that was taking place. I heard that in that village there was a Tsikamtanda that was supposed to come, and I went to that Tsikamtanda just to see how powerful he was, because the challenge that I was facing as a traditional healer was that I had zero powers. I knew herbs, but I had zero powers. I wanted spiritual powers so that people can be able to keep on coming to my house so that I can make money. I went and I spoke with the Tsikamtanda so that he can strengthen me. He then said that he had caught this other woman in Kuruwe who was a witch, and he had been given some powers by that witch. If I was able to raise some money so that I can take him and his boys so that we can go and we can speak with that witch, then it was possible that I could also become a witch doctor, not a traditional healer, because there is a difference between a witch doctor and a traditional healer. I am now a witch doctor, for I use witchcraft to heal people, to help people to make as much money as they want. So then we went there, and when we went, we met the old woman who was a witch, who then took a black chicken, who told me to eat that black chicken raw if I wanted to become powerful. She then made some markings on my body, which I use when I am consulting with people. And then she told me that in order for her ancestors to help me, there was blood that was needed. And this blood that was needed, it was the blood of those that were not my relatives. And the only way that I could collect this blood from the 6 people that were supposed to die, and their blood was supposed to be used for the rituals, it was supposed to be through an accident. I then agreed to do as I had been instructed to do, with the help of the Tsikamtanda, the witch hunter. And this happened. It was his own taxi that he had bought. It was an old taxi. He said that he wanted to buy another taxi anyway, and he had been blessed by that same witch that if this taxi was going to be involved in a terrible accident, then you will be able to buy even a bus. And he helped me. We then went into the road, into a highway, and then we did our rituals. We placed a clay pot in the middle of the highway, and then we poured chicken blood in the middle of that highway. And the moment that the taxi will pass through that place where we had poured the chicken blood, later on it was going to have an accident. And it happened, I'll say that it was in the year 2016 in June, when the highway was busy, and then there was a terrible crash. 6 people passed away on the spot. And those people that died, the moment that their souls left their body, I saw them in my house. I was in my bedroom, and I felt that there were people that were in my dining room. I then left my bedroom and I went and I saw that there were 6 people that were standing. And I was told that at all the times I was supposed to be rude at them. And I asked them why they were standing in my house instead of kneeling down, because these were my spiritual slaves now. They all knelt down in front of me, and then I told them that it was I that had caused them to die, and they were supposed to work for me until the number of years that we agreed that they would be working for me. So we agreed that after 20 years, these people, I am supposed to return them back to their relatives, and I will send them with something to their relatives. But I have no intentions of doing that anyway. I am a traditional healer. I know of ways to give people that do not know that will come to my shrine. So when it is time for me to return back the souls of these people, I will lose a lot of wealth, because all of them, I have to pay them for the number of years that they would have worked for me for free. And what I will do, which is my secret that I want to share with you, those that will come to my shrine at the end of my life, when I know that I am about to die, I want to give these souls to the people that do not know. If you come to me and you say that you want a love charm, instead of giving you a normal love charm, I will give you the spirit of these people that are dead and they died because of an accident, so that when you go wherever you go, you will be followed by the spirit of a dead person until you return the spirit of that person that I would have given to you without your knowledge. So this is the secret that I want your listeners to know. There is a difference between a traditional healer. A traditional healer is someone that uses their real ancestors, like the ancestor of your grandmother, who was a traditional healer as well, who was not a witch, or the ancestors from your mother's side. These are real traditional healers. But if I am a witch doctor, it is someone that uses the spirits of the dead. I do not have like real power that I was born with, but it is something that came to me because I was assisted by a witch. I paid another witch doctor so that I can have temporary power. So the danger of being assisted by a witch doctor is that when you leave that shrine, you leave that shrine with an altar that you do not know, that there is an altar that has been created in your name. Therefore, even if you go to another healer, or when your children start to suffer and you are told that you are a ritualist, you will refuse and you will say that I never did any money rituals. But what you won't know is that because you once visited a witch doctor who gave you things that he or she did not want at his home anymore, because for us to gain this power, we have to keep on using the spirits of dead people at all the times. And these people, they even trouble us as much power as we have, but they can even give us sleepless nights. The only thing that we can promise them is that you will find rest. If there is someone that comes to ask for a charm for me, for a back to sender or anything, I will then give you that person and you can go with them and you can do whatever that you want in the life of that person. That is the only way that we have peace with these spirits of the dead people that would have woken up from the graves. So we create multiple altars. That is why most of the people start to suffer when they say that I went to my healer who assisted me with rituals, but I found out that he had died and there is no one that can help me right now. There is no one that can help you because the altar has to be destroyed by the person who created that altar. So I want your listeners to be careful whenever they visit traditional healers, even just for good luck charm, for love charms, to return back your lost lover. You can end up having a tokology that will create problems for you, because as we know more about the spiritual world, I can tell you to say a few words that you won't even know that by saying those words whilst you are at my shrine, you are collecting all the negative spirits that are at my shrine. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our dear sister. Strange things indeed they do happen in this world. She's saying that this is the difference between a traditional healer and a witch doctor. A witch doctor uses the spirit of people that they would have gone to the graves, and then they take their spirits so that they can use them to get powers, so that when you consult, they will tell you the hidden things of the spirit. But they also have a habit of giving you those bad spirits so that they can make you to suffer, because they do not want their children to suffer. Have you ever been to a witch doctor or to a traditional healer that you later found out that this one is a witch doctor? You can come to our inbox and you can share with us your own side of the story.